Alright, welcome back to the Star Fox Adventures Glitchless tutorial. Today we are on part 4 out of 5. This is going to be coming back from Walled City to the end of Dragon Rock, which is the end of Spellstone 3 to the end of Spellstone 4. This part and the next part are not going to be quite as long as the previous parts, just because the sections themselves just actually don't take very much time. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and boot up. Now, where we left off, as usual, we were leaving the previous dungeon, Walled City. So two inputs to the right is Dinosaur Planet. You want to try to press A right after General Pepper says the king to avoid the lag spike. As usual, just got a boost. So something I will point out now while I have a minute though is we are going to be working on a death warp throughout a good portion of this segment that we're looking at today. And by that I mean once you get the 6th heart from getting the 3rd spellstone, your health is going to refill, and as soon as we leave Walled City, we are going to start paying attention to our health. For the first little bit, it's not super important. It's more about, like, you want to keep track of how much health you have and try to leave the Volcano Temple with a certain amount. So, but yeah, pretty much from this point forward for a little while, we will be managing our health very carefully. Pretty carefully. So first thing, there's nothing to do except just book it straight for the Volcano Temple. You'd probably have Fire Blaster equipped, so I will equip that here. Remember, it's to the right the first time. Just like that. You can go straight to the exit because you don't have anything to grab this time around. Keep good lines, good angles, just the straightest path that you can make, you know. Try not to take too much damage here. You'll lose a lot of health in the volcano. The thing is, we just are actually taking that into account and trying to plan for that very occurrence. So, you should be fine enough on magic. You shouldn't need that red gem. You should be able to just run straight into the volcano. If you don't stop moving, it's not too bad to make that cycle. Now, first thing first, when you come in here, you're going to not run up the ramp right away. You're actually going to come this way. I'd recommend equipping Ice Blast as you run up, actually, so that you can use it right out of your fire rocket boost there. You're going to open this cage and get these 2 fuel cells. Then you're going to equip the Disguise, get the Baphomet Dad, and these 2 fuel cells. So you should leave this room, and then you will continue on up the ramp and into the volcano. So you should leave this room with 9 fuel cells now. You've collected all 4 of those, and another Baphomet Dad. Move right along. While you're climbing up this wall, you can equip the Spellstone, because you'll need it. And you might as well just be able to spam it. Don't need any more grubs. That was very weird that that one was asleep, but the others weren't. So you can spam the Spellstone here. The end of this game, I would say generally, has a lot of running in it, because you have to go and do things. But a lot of it isn't actually very hard, because they are areas that you've been to before and have already opened a lot of the doors. So you'll come down this elevator, you can skip all those sharp claws. Okay, so come into this room, you need to go to the far Spellstone key. So this one. Now, if you don't stop moving when you enter this room, the cycle will always be the same. You're gonna jump down to this moving fire block, the one with the flame and the grate to Fox's left here. You're gonna jump off of this ledge onto that block and then jump onto the rock wall to Fox's right. It's not actually that hard, but don't just make the jump. You will have to stop and wait, because the cycle will be the same every time. Like, it's not that hard to run into this room and use the Spellstone. It shouldn't, like, be too much of a time variable here. So the cycle, like, every time that you get to right here, the block will be moving away from the wall. So you're going to want to wait for it to come back into position. Right about there is good. You just want it to be close enough that you can make the jump and then jump onto the wall. It's not too hard. Here, this bat will probably attack you. You can grab this health. That was a full heart. I often actually do grab that health, even though we are actually trying to take damage. There's a lot of opportunity to take damage in the Volcano Temple, and you will have plenty. So I normally do pick up that health. The bat can sometimes damage the box for you, which is really cool and helpful. It can save you a staff swing. It's like a second, you know? Yeah. While you're coming this way now, go ahead and equip your Ice Blast. You'll need it in just a second. You're going to go up the right ladder to do this colored flame puzzle. The order is blue, green, red, yellow. So if you go up the right ladder, this is the most optimized route. Take a look. You can collect this yellow gem, which is why you don't need magic earlier. Blue, then turn around for green, then turn back around, and you can go all the way across now. You'll have plenty of magic leaving this room. They, like, ply you with it. Red, yellow. Hold Y until the cutscene here starts, and then you have to slide down this ladder. You can't ladder skip it. Okay, now in the next room, there is actually a little trick that I'm going to I have to display it kind of quickly, because if you take your time, it won't work. But so in the next room, if you're familiar, there's a little, there's a fight with two Sharp Claw, two of the shield armored Sharp Claws, not the big bully claws, the medium ones. A fight with two of them, and after you defeat them, a pressure pad on the floor will appear that you need Tricky to stand on, because that pad will lower a ladder that you have to climb to hit a switch. Now, the trick you can do is, as you're running into the room, go ahead and equip your Fire Blaster and highlight your stay command. As you enter the room, stand on the pad, where the pad will appear, that is, and use the stay command, and Tricky will come and stand on it, and then you can kill the Sharp Claw and run straight to where the ladder will be, because Tricky will already be on the pad, and he will push it as soon as it comes up. So here, we're going to equip Fire Blaster, highlight, stay. Stay. I think that worked. I don't think that worked. That didn't work. I got him to do it there. You see how he ran right to it. You can do that right as you enter the room. You don't have to do it afterwards like that. That was like a pretty good backup. I think the Sharp Claw, I think I might have done it a second too late hitting the stay command there. Because I think what makes it not work is the Sharp Claw like being alerted to you. I think I just waited too long and they were alerted to me. And then as you saw when they were gone, Tricky was able to run right to it. So do it just a little bit earlier than what I did there, and I think it'll work. You can run straight to this ladder then. You don't have to like stand and wait for it. You can run straight to it after you've killed the Sharp Claw, like immediately after. It's pretty cool. As you're coming up here, keep your Fire Blaster equipped, but highlight your Ice Blast. And then spam it when you get up. Hit this switch to open the gate. Now do an ESS turn and roll. An ESS back, down turn, and then roll. And let go of the stick to do a ladder skip there and fall down here like I just did. You can roll again out of it on the ground. Now you're going to come this way, and I will say the next puzzle is probably the most difficult of the Volcano 2 segment. It's a pretty advanced technique, but for what we're talking about in this tutorial, like we're talking about more of the advanced stuff. So I am going to talk about it and assume that you're going to do it. It is called Firewalk. The next room has a puzzle where we're supposed to put out the fire on a moving block, have Tricky stand on a pressure pad that moves that moving block, stand on the moving block while it's moving, and shoot the colored orbs with the proper flame color as you're moving. This can be really slow. It can also well, doing it that way is extremely slow. You do not want to do it that way. The fastest way to do it is to jump in the lava and stand in the lava to shoot. You should have a pretty high amount of health here, so you gotta be fast, but you should be okay. You're gonna want to shoot the orbs left, center, then right, and the colors are blue on the left, green in the middle, and blue on the right. So now watch how I do this. I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna come over here. I usually jump off of this part, run right over here. Oops. Did this wrong. I did this wrong. I did it wrong. I did it wrong. I did it wrong. Get out of the fire. Okay. 'Cause I thought too hard about it. Normally you wouldn't get that health. Oh man, I don't know what to do about this. I'm just gonna go back and see if I can get a little health down here to refill, because you need a lot of health for it. I think there's health in these boxes, yeah. Yeah, here we go. Okay, that's better. We can retry it now. I thought about it too hard as I was trying to explain it, and I messed it up. So you're gonna come down here. You're gonna run in. I usually jump off of this ledge, stop right about here, and aim at the left one. Then go to center, and you should be able to get it pretty quickly. And then, if you're a little low on health or worried about it, you can stand in the fire here to shoot the last one. But, you want to end the Volcano Temple with, 1 heart and a quarter. That's how much you want. So you'll run through here and, go and place the Spellstone. We have a couple more opportunities to lose damage leaving the Volcano Temple. You basically just want to get back to Thorntail Hollow with a heart and a quarter. When you start the bat sequence in Thorntail Hollow, when we get back, you want 1 full heart and 1 quarter. I can't, like, stress that enough. That's the goal of all of it. Firewalk is really helpful for that. If you hold bottom right, down right out of that and roll like you can place the spell stone. It'll be on Fox's back right as he spawns in. So we have a little bit more than a heart and a quarter now, which is fine. We are going to have opportunities to lose a little bit more health as we leave the Volcano Temple. You can do that same thing you did earlier here, the like up and turn around over the edge like that. Probably get hit by those bats. Probably get hit by this fire. Now we have a heart and a quarter here, but we're going to take a little more damage, so we're going to have to pick up a little health as we're leaving Moon Mountain Pass. We're going to make it 3/4, and we can pick up one of the half hearts in the entrance area. That'd be perfect. So really, you just kind of want to know what health you have around, like where the full and half hearts are nearby in your path, so that you can exit Moon Mountain Pass and enter Thorntail Hollow with the proper amount of health, which is 1 heart and 1/4. Go ahead and equip Fire Blaster as well. If you have too much health, you can try and have Fox take damage on these geysers. If you are like trying to lower your health a little bit more. One of the things you can do is run through those geysers. Sometimes it doesn't work because they just won't be going off, but that's something you can try to take damage on if you need to. The 1 1/4 is very, very specific and intentional, so that's what you want to enter Thorntail Hollow with. No more, no less. Go left to jump on this immediately. Wait for that to come up because you have to. And then you can exit right away. But watch out for this mushroom. Don't get hit by him. Unless, of course, you have too much health. If you're trying to lose a little bit more health, the mushroom will deal a 1/4 heart. So you can potentially get your health to where you need it to be by taking damage from him as well. But we have the right health now, so we'll continue. Avoid this mushroom, or don't if you need the more damage. And now we hit this cutscene. Now, out of this cutscene, it will always automatically deal 1/4 heart of damage to you. That's okay. That's part of the plan. So right now, we're on track. Out of this cutscene, you will have 1 full heart. Come over here and shoot these bats first. This part is dumb, as we all know, and takes a lot of practice, so just do your best. I think it's a good idea to refill your magic on your way to the next guy. So you do that guy first, the one we just did, then follow the path I take here. Come this way, right about here, and shoot this guy's bats. Then go through the river. You can go anywhere that you feel comfortable with, but you're going to shoot the one in front of the Queen Earthwalker's house here, to Fox's left. I wouldn't recommend going farther than her fence, but that's about as far as you can go if you feel comfortable with it. You'll obviously save a little bit of time if you're confident in your shooting if you don't go as far. But yeah, like we'll try like right about here. That was fire. Okay, now turn. That was cool. Now turn around, and you're gonna head this way towards your R-wing. The guy next to the R-wing will be your next one. Stop right about here. You may notice as well that before I pull out my Fire Blaster, I actually turn Fox towards the Thorntail so that his body is facing them. That's just a speed thing, because if you pull out your Fire Blaster in the wrong direction, it'll take you longer to spin in the well, I don't know what you would call it, like first person, quote unquote, fire blaster aiming. You know what I mean? It's not really first person, but kind of. Now run this way. Now this one is the tough one. You really don't want to, sorry, you're gonna hit that guy next. You really don't want to run too close to him because he's one of the ones that's the most out of the way. You really do kind of want to try to stand on this side of the rock circle and shoot him from about here. He's the tough one. If you grab the magic in the beginning, it's a little bit more forgiving, and you'll be able to, like, spray your shots a little bit better. Like, don't blow all your magic, but you can fire, like, 2 for every 1, you know what I mean, to try and make sure you hit him. That's one of the benefits of picking up the magic in the beginning of this sequence. So yeah, you do him, and then you'll turn the direction I just turned to go to the Cape Claw Gate Thorntail, who is the last one. You will take damage on these red mushrooms as well. This is also intentional. So exiting, which means that exiting the bat sequence, you want 3/4 of a heart. That's your health exiting this, okay? Try not to take any more damage than that. If you go the route I did, taking damage really shouldn't be an issue. You shouldn't have a problem with it. The mushrooms in the beginning damage you automatically, and those ones that we just passed are pretty easy to take the damage from. So that's very intentional. Now, run all the way up to this Thorntail. It's actually a little bit more optimized because it makes his bats really easy to shoot.
You are a true hero, Fox.
Look, fella, I'm not paid enough to keep getting you guys out of trouble.
But I've got this for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we are going to fill up our new scarab bag and go and get the golden alpine root. So first thing, we're going to fill up the scarab bag. So once you leave the cutscene of getting the bag, head this way towards the money that we typically pick up. Grab this one for 10, then do this rock for 20, then do this rock for 20. I'm sorry, the last one was 10. This one's 20. So that rock, and then do the rock at the shore. Now, you want to enter the store with 120 scarabs, which means we have 110 right now. So that means that we could actually, we only have to pick up 2 of the 3 5 scarabs that this one drops, the $5 scarabs. Excuse me. You only have to pick up 2. It'll drop 3 $5 scarabs. You only need to pick up 2 of them, because you only need 10 more scarabs. You can just pick the ones that are the better RNG. You see, we let that one that was going away from us just go. That's fine, because now we have 120. And if you followed the scarab routing that I've done throughout this tutorial, you will have exactly the amount of scarabs that you need to beat this game. This will be our last trip to the shop. We will not be picking up any more scarabs for the remainder of the run. So you enter the shop with 120 scarabs. Do the same movement you've been doing. Once you get to the shop, you will, however, go and grab the 30 scarabs that the shopkeeper has underneath the store, which means you'll have 150 scarabs now. Okay. Come out this way, and head this way towards the Alpine route, and buy that for 130 scarabs.
You pay this much. Okay, I'll sell it to you.
Now, hold left or sort of down left, because you're going to go and also buy the zoom goggles, the high-def display, for 20 scarabs, and that is all of the scarabs that we need for the rest of the run. And that is the last things that we have to buy. So as usual, save and quit out of the store. Load back in. And hold right as you load in, because we're going to run straight to Snowhorn Wastes now. You should still have your 3/4 of a heart. Go ahead and get your commands ready to get through the sewers. I would go ahead and equip the dinosaur horn here, highlight the golden apricot, highlight your fire blaster, and highlight the stay command, and get ready to use stay here when the camera changes to get up here. Switch the water flow. Second to last time we have to do this annoying thing. Hate this part. I always hated this part. Even when I was a kid, I was like, why do I have to go through all this? Highlight the flame command now. So golden alpine root, fire blaster, and flame command. Ignore the mushrooms. You do not need any more mushrooms. Alright, now go this way, because we're going to head to the blue snowhorn. Go up the ramp. Before we head to the blue snowhorn, we're going to make a quick detour to pick up some fuel cells. The fuel cells that we are going to pick up, we're going to come over here. Careful not to get hit by this dragon. That's important. Don't get hit by him. Hit the switch. Come this way. Don't get hit by him. I tend to grab this red gem. Then come this way, grab these fuel cells with the path you just opened, exit. Now go ahead and highlight your golden alpine root, and as soon as you land, hand it to him. Now the reason you want the dinosaur horn equipped is that we are going to spam Y out of this cutscene so that we use the dinosaur horn instantly, because we spawn on top of the first dino pad we have to blow on, you know. Okay. So spam Y out of this cutscene. And now we are going to start working on the death warp. I'm going to pause after this. So anyway, you'll run down right here and pull up your flame command to blow, break open this ice wall. But I'm just gonna go ahead and explain as well. The death warp that we're doing is, the purpose of it is to warp back to this location after the end of the Snowhorn trial that we're doing right now. Instead of having to run all the way back. Like, all of the health that we've been managing up to this point, and again, you should be starting this with 3/4 of a heart, has been for that death warp. It saves, I don't know, I want to say like 20 seconds? It might be a little less, but it's a pretty easy one, and it's just a good part of the route. It's, should definitely learn how to do it. It might be more than that, actually. Actually, I bet it is more than that, now that I think about it. It's probably a lot more than that. Anyway, so I'm going to unpause. We're going to pull up the flame command and open this. We're going to actually wait sort of a second for Tricky to finish opening it. Don't run through as soon as you can, because you want to take damage from Tricky's flame. You want him to deal 1/4 heart damage to you with his flame command. The best way to do that is to kind of target, and then like that. You'll have to go a little slow there, but it's the best way to take damage. Blow the horn there. Go this way, pull up your fire blaster, don't get hit by that guy, and shoot that tree monster, you know, to drop the tree. Again, avoid this guy. Head this way to this pad, which is right here. Blow it as soon as you can. Keep the dino horn equipped so that you can spam Y. There's nothing better to equip for that. Go down this way. Now you want one of these little dragon guys to do damage to you. It doesn't matter which one necessarily, but you just want only one of them to hit you. You have a half heart right now. They will do a quarter, and you will be left with 1/4 heart, which is exactly what you want. So he dealt damage. Now avoid all of the other ones like the plague. Be very careful. Okay. Now come this way to the next one. We have the exact health we need now, which is obviously as little health as we can possibly have. So, something to note is that some of the dino horn pads have a sort of a black fade-in screen at the end of it, like when you're coming back in, and you can move during it, but with most of them it's kind of hard or possibly risky. You can do that in the very first one, but I don't recommend it because if you fall into the water in front of you, you'll lose a lot of time. You can do it with the next one here. And this one I have the best idea of like how to move in the fade out, so I'll explain it. You want to target and hold up left during this, and then once you hear the target sound and start moving, sort of start to change it to a forward and then a right, and you'll be targeted that whole time. And you see how I kind of moved forward while it was black and I was still moving? If you go back and look at that, you'll see it's sort of, so it's like a target and up left, then like as you hear the target sound as you're coming back in, sort of like circle your stick from up left to up right. Kind of a slow circle, like a up left, forward, up right. You know, it's sort of that speed. Alright. Next one. This next one also has a fade out, but this is one that I don't recommend running during because it's just confusing. The angle is weird. I'd recommend just waiting for you to be able to see Fox. Okay, now jump down here. There's a dragon guy behind you. Now, so avoid him, but the big thing here is if you did manage to get the cutscene overlap, or at least shoot down this tree during the Garunda Tay segment way back in part 1, then this tree will already be down. But if you didn't get it, you'll have to shoot this tree now. Try to be very careful not to get killed by the tree monster in that tree. You know, they'll shoot their little like green magic at you. Be very careful not to let him hit you. That's very important because he'll kill you with that, and it'll ruin the whole segment. It's like probably run over if that happens, especially if you're going for a really good time. So be careful. Try to. It's one of the benefits really of hitting this tree early is that you don't have to worry about it. It also just saves time during this segment. So go ahead up. Now when you get to the top of this rock wall, we're gonna find the final dino horn pad. But before we blow it, we're going to grab the 2 fuel cells up here. That's important before you blow it. So go past it, get these 2 fuel cells, then go and blow the horn. Now that's the end of it, and now we are going to die. The way we're going to die is pretty easy. You should have 1/4 heart, and you're just going to neutral roll off of this. Okay? So like no neutral stick and just roll. And you'll take fall damage and die. It's really easy. Now here, you gotta be really careful. Do not use your Baphomet Dad. That's like, it destroys the whole Death Warp and it ends up costing more time than if you literally just like ran there in the first place. So the inputs are no, yes, no. Because you're gonna say, no, I don't want to use my Baphomet Dad. Yes, I do want to save. No, I don't want to quit. You understand? So, now I know this is in Japanese, so you probably can't read it, but the inputs then are going to be A, left A, you know, because the no option is on the right and is also highlighted by default. So you will push, so left is yes, right is no. So no Baphomet Dad, left A, yes, save. and then just A, no, I don't want to quit. And you'll be here, where you started the trial. And you'll save a lot of time. Go ahead and equip your Fire Blaster, and then head this way. Your health is not really important anymore. You're pretty much good now. Try not to get hit by that guy. I mean, like, there's an opportune time to die, and it's not that. Swim through this water. You won't take ice damage. And then right here, we have the final 2 fuel cells in the run. Those are the last 2 fuel cells that you need to collect for the remainder of the game. And here, then hop up onto the warp and press A. We will go and do Krazoa 4. Now, this part's a little tricky. I'm going to have to explain this a little bit before I actually do it. There is a cycle that starts as soon as you load into Krazoa Palace, or Krazoa 4 here, that, you want to be as fast as you can in the beginning, okay? So what's going to happen is we're going to get up to the top, and then there will be a short barrel puzzle, right? Where we have to get a barrel to the other end of an icy platform room and blow open a door. Then we have to go back, get another barrel, and take it through the room. The problem is there are bats in the room, and they will destroy your barrels, so you need to kill the bats first before picking up the barrels at all. And then in the second room, the room after that, there's the Suction Cup Master 4000, the barrel mover, that you set the barrel down on the pad, and the barrel mover comes and picks it up, and you have to get the barrel across the big lake of water, right? Now, the cycle that you don't want to miss here is reaching that pad to set down the barrel when the barrel mover gets there for the first time, which is as soon as you can. Which the window is not big. The window is about 8 seconds from the time you load in Krazoa 4. So you want to watch what I'm doing and move as fast as you can, okay? For this whole part. So get up here. Come up the ladder. Equip Fire Blaster right now if you haven't already. Alright, now come to the left here. Stop at the doorway, pull out your Fire Blaster, and shoot these bats. It doesn't matter if it takes a few shots, you want to get them. So spray a little if you have to. Grab the barrel, run along the path. You want to do this running. If you need to practice it, you'll just have to practice it. You need to do it running, though. Stop at the top to throw the barrel. I fell. I can't believe I fell. We might be okay. Stop at the top to throw the barrel and then run back across. Grab another barrel, run across again. And did we make it? We did make it. We did. Yep. As soon as you get here. So even though we fell, we actually didn't lose any time, right? Because we were waiting on that barrel mover to get there anyways. If I didn't fall, I just would have made it there a lot faster, and I still would have had to wait for it to get there to pick up the barrel. Either way, once you set the barrel down, go ahead and hit this switch right away, because it's just unsafe to try and wait and gamble with it, you know? So yeah, go ahead and hit the switch. Now, the barrel is safe while the barrel mover is moving horizontally, left to right. So you can wait to hit the switch again to turn off the second flame until it's moving to the right. However, you want to try to hit it again after that to turn off the third flame as soon as you can. So, like, right after it passes the jet, the second jet. This is a little weird, I guess, a little bit of a weird perspective. So, like, try to play it safe, but also try to play it fast. So, like, it's gonna move to the right, it's safe. Now, it should be safe right about there. Yeah, we're good. As soon as you hit it, jump into the water to the left here and stick all the way to the left. While you're swimming, equip the Sharp Claw disguise and use it. Try not to get caught in the whirlpools. Here, okay, so we're good now, as far as cycles and whatnot. here, there's a trick to getting this barrel across this wind gust without stopping to throw it or aiming or anything like that. Run forward the direction I am, holding the barrel right now. Run forward like this, and then right as you step off into the flame, kind of like flick your stick to sort of an upright, and Fox should drop the barrel into the gust towards you, the door you need to go through to the right. So like right there. If you look, you'll see the like sort of slight angle change I made right as I was falling in, and the barrel landed perfectly, actually. The Sharp Claw disguise is for this room. It's not actually mandatory. You can get by without it, but it's just a safety net that there's absolutely no reason for you to not do. The Sharp Claw disguise prevents the Sharp Claw in this room from attacking you. Normally, it wants you to set the barrel down, fight the Sharp Claw, and then proceed, but you just don't have to do that. If you equip the disguise earlier before and just leave it on, the Sharp Claw will never be alerted to you. So run past him, come over to about here between these two flame jets so that you don't have to worry about their cycle, and then throw it between them to open up the fourth Krazoa spirit. Spam A as you approach. If you have the Sharp Claw disguise equipped still, you can spam A. This is the easiest Krazoa trial, as you're all aware. It's once again the test of strength. All you have to do is mash A, so there's really nothing I can say about this beyond just, you know, mash A. The shrine is really hard, actually. Like, the shrine is really tricky and important, and, like, if you mess up the cycle, you lose a lot of time. But, the actual trial itself is really easy. It's one of the harder trials in the whole run. Alright. Now we're just gonna book it for the warp stone, basically. I suppose that I probably normally equip my portal device, like here, or because it's the next item we're gonna use. Try to take, you know, your straight angles and straight paths, straight vectors towards the objectives you're trying to reach. Gotta change the water one more time. Last time in the run.
Stay.
Neutral. And roll to skip. You don't have to worry about your health right now. I know we're low on health. But since we picked up the Baphomet, we're actually going to make use of that to not ever really have to pick up any more health again. You like should be fine for the rest of the run now. So we're heading to the Warp Stone. I recommend that you do pick up this red gem, because you're probably low on magic, and the portal device takes a decent amount of magic. Come around this way to the Warp Stone. And right to Krazoa Palace. Spam it.
Are you ready to go to Krazoa Palace?
Okay. Now, there is a small trick here. I will give you the rundown. So first, do the normal, like, try to clip up by running Fox against the middle here. Got it. Now, so to get to where we're trying to go, you're trying to get to... Hey, zoom goggles. You're trying to get to this door, the portal device. That is on the 2nd floor. Remember, this room has 4 floors. You start on the 1st floor, 2, 3, 4 at the very top. The portal device door to drop off the 4th Krazoa spirit is on the 2nd floor. But if you notice, the entrance to the 2nd floor is all the way over here, so you'd have to run all the way around to get to it if you got off on the 2nd floor. The trick is that you're actually going to fly up to the 3rd floor's entrance right here, and you're going to fall onto the grate and then fall into the hallway of the 2nd floor. It's pretty cool. It's not as hard as it sounds. So you're going to come up, drop off at the come to the 3rd floor here. As soon as you land, you're going to stick to the left side here like I am. As soon as you land, do like sort of maybe a slightly more than ESS down control stick movement. Like just like a kind of a very slow walk to get Fox to ledge grab, like I do. Just like that, you're good. Now another slight down to get him to drop, and he'll land right here. You can ESS turn around, and then I like to zoom and just sort of look sort of like that. And then I kind of do like a up right into up forward up left circle and roll off of this part right here. You're gonna like walk along this part right here and fall into the hallway. So yeah, like I guess I kind of get the camera like right there, and then roll, and you'll land in the hallway. It just takes a little practice. It's not quite as hard as it looks, but you'll be right next to the portal door now, and you can spam Y, like I had mentioned. You can equip the portal device to Y like that. And then run in and place the 4th Krazoa spirit. Don't spam A, because your staff will be out. Alright, so honestly, we got some long cutscenes incoming. Not exactly, like, a lot to say during this part. I normally run a 3-minute ad during this part. It's just not much to do. This is sort of a little breather.
Fox, my boy! 3 spellstones down and only 1 to go! You seem to be getting the hang of this! Now then, it's time for you and Tricky to go to Dragon Rock, your toughest challenge yet.
That's easy for you to say, but where do I find the gatekeeper?
He is closer than you realize.
Okay. The only thing to say about this part, really, you'll hold right out of this cutscene to run this way, and then try to do the little waterfall skip here, like that, where you roll off of the waterfall at a good angle to land on this ledge. This is actually probably the most opportune moment in the run for that little trick. I think the other time you do it, it's like not actually as important. It saves like a small bit of time, but right here it's actually like a couple seconds because it gives you a really straight line, as you can see, straight to the Thorntail that you need to talk to. If you had to go around the ledge and climb back up, it would be like probably at least 5 seconds. Maybe 3 to 5 seconds. I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but like as far as a small optimization goes, that's actually like something. You should definitely try for it.
I too attempted to save our planet, but I failed.
Tell me, what happened?
I let
led a group of dinosaurs against
Alright,
general
so
scales.
now we are going to be getting ready for Dragon Rock, which, yeah, Dragon Rock's got some stuff to talk about. Like, this might actually be the longer part of the video. It's not that it's long, it's that there's, like, a lot going on in Dragon Rock.
And it is also where he has taken the Spellstone.
So how did you survive? If Scales let you go, it could only be because...
I am the gatekeeper. The gateway to Dragon Rock is now open. Please help my friends.
Alright, so hold forward out of this
They are on your
cutscene.
side.
Or sort of, nah, more like upright. Run through the water here at the shallowest part to get to the ship. And then head up to space to fly to Dragon Rock. Dragon Rock will be one input to your right. Push A sort of like when Slippy is done saying general scales, or right about then. The only thing to note about this part is that you have to get all 10 gold rings, which you're surely aware of. You're also probably aware that the gold rings are not actually that hard to get. They're mostly like on a pretty straight path through the course. But that being said, this is probably the weirdest part where you have to do that little turn. That being said, don't mess this up. It's a huge time loss, you know. If you gotta be careful to not miss a ring, then just take the time and be careful, you know what I mean? But try and boost all the way through without stopping. Shouldn't be too bad, because really the rings are not in crazy difficult spots. You just have to get all 10 of them. Okay, now, so as soon as you start Dragon Rock, as soon as you land, Dragon Rock is on a cycle. Everything on Dragon Rock operates on a cycle that starts as soon as you arrive at it. So, in the beginning especially, it's really important to move as fast as you can and as optimized as you can to make everything work properly. Hold sort of up left out of that cutscene, because you're going to run this way to start. Go ahead and equip Fire Blaster, I guess. That's probably fine. Pick up this yellow gem. And then head up this ladder. You will probably die on this ladder. That's totally fine. This is actually like the good spot to die. You want to die here. We didn't die. That doesn't matter. We'll probably die in the next room then. But, it's okay. You should plan to die in Dragon Rock. Just eat the damage and use your Baphomet Dad. That's what we got it for. You're gonna die some point in this area. You should just take it when it comes. You know, it's not a big deal. So once you get up to the top of this ladder, head this way. Up this ladder, past these. Ladder skip. Then run this way. Keep a tight line to the left there to avoid that box, which will be in your path. If you're really fast here, you can get the barrel that's at the other end of this pathway past these flame jets without ever stopping to wait for them. We died there. That was an interesting spot. Use your Baphomet Dad whenever that happens. Grab the barrel. Are we gonna make it? We made it. So yeah, that's what it looks like if you make that cycle. You just got to be quick in the beginning. Turn on the thing. I'm actually going to reposition that. It seemed like it was in a weird spot. Let's get up there. Now, come to step on this pad. You have to wait for the barrel to pass you. Now go to the next one. Now ladder skip, roll cancel to stop right where you land, and you can pick up the barrel out of the air and then just throw it directly forward like I just did, and you'll hit the it'll explode the wood. You can, so that's what I like about that. It actually feels really smooth. You like ladder skip past the ladder, roll cancel right with the shield right as you land, right where you land, and you can grab the barrel out of the air. It'll drop it right on top of you, and then you can just hold forward and throw the barrel. Like if you watch that back, that was really smooth. Then head in. This is the room I thought I'd die in. Whoops. Hit the switch to free the Earthwalker. Now, jump off of the ledge here. And then just keep going. Go this way around the central spire. Towards the Earthwalker. Keep a really straight path, because it's a big long run, so a good straight line will help you a lot. Now, so for the Earthwalker, I guess I can talk about like the point of the cycle now. Like I said, all of Dragon Rock is on one big cycle. The real important part of this is the shielded turrets that you have to destroy, that are all around, the 4 turrets that are all around Dragon Rock. The one that just shot at me with the blue bolt you might have saw. So they are, they have like a patrol radius. They like move in a straight line back and forth along their patrol path. And if you do Dragon Rock quickly, or like this part of Dragon Rock quickly, they'll always be in pretty good spots for you to kill them when you have to. And part of that is also doing the Earthwalker segment quickly. So we're going to run up and talk to him, and then we're going to hop on him. There will be a small trick there with that as well. And then we're going to destroy the robot's force field generators in a particular order. So watch the order that I do them in.
Told me all about it.
I am pleased to hear of his safety, but the High Top is not so fortunate. Together, we can free him.
Oh, I'm not paid enough for this. Okay. What do we do?
The High Top will be an easy target for the patrolling robots. With their shields, they are unstoppable. However, each one has a shield generator hidden somewhere nearby. If we can destroy these, the robots will be defenseless.
So what do you expect me to use? This?
Of course not. This.
So when this ends, run towards his platform, like right about here, and then press A, and you won't actually have to run on top of the platform to hop on him. Now run this way to the first force field generator. Come around this side and press A to blow it open. We got hit, unfortunately, there. That's not great, but getting hit once is usually okay. It's just a small time loss. Go this way. Try to avoid the shots from the turrets as best you can. That first one's really hard to avoid. That's the second force field generator. You want to kind of press A as you're running into it and turn away like this, you know what I mean? So that you keep a good path. Now get off of him here. Run this way on this side of the enemy and the thing. And you can spam shots to destroy that turret, then run this way. Keep a fairly tight path around the spire. That was a lot of shots, but that's okay. You can kind of spam shots here if it means you don't miss him. Come around to this rock about right there to destroy him, and then come this way to destroy the last one. The real problem is if you might notice that their patrol paths sort of take them behind the rocks, or behind the big tall rock spires, you know? You just don't want to take so long that by the time you get around to destroying these guys, they're all like hiding behind their rocks, you know? If you do it fast like I did, you can see they're on a pretty good path here where none of them were obstructed. That's the cycle that you want to just like pay attention to or keep in mind and try to not to go slow so that you don't mess this part up, because it can be really bad. It's actually really damaging to have to like run around one of the spires to shoot them because they're not in a good spot. For this last one, keep a straight line towards the high top's gate actually, and then get like right about here before you actually blow this guy up, because you just don't have to do him from far away. There's no point. He my camera turned around for some reason. Then head into the high tops room, collect this yellow gem, and stand about here. Now, this is the part that like everybody hates. Everybody remembers this puzzle. The answer is yes, this is annoying in a speedrun. Excuse me. You're going to want to shoot the fire blaster switches in order from right to left. So the far right one, the second right one, the second left one, and the far left one. Do them as quick as you can, and if you do that, it should be fine. For some reason, there's a bug in this part where if you do it left to right, even if all of the switches are green at the same time, it sometimes doesn't register the minigame as having been completed. If you do it right to left, that doesn't seem to happen. So, yeah, just, you know, do it as best you can, right? Yeah, there we go. That was okay. That could have been a little faster, but it ended when it was supposed to. Alright, now this is probably the segment that I can say the absolute least about in the entire run, because it is a 4-minute auto-scroller. There is really nothing else to say about it. This is the true, to-the-core auto-scroller. There is not a thing you can do to speed it up. Excuse me. The only note is that the one thing that you can do to speed it up, technically, is playing on 1.1. Because if you are playing version 1.0, this segment is for some reason 12 seconds longer than it is on 1.1. They made this segment 12 seconds shorter on version 1.1. This segment, this high-top auto-scroller, is actually the main really big reason that you should be playing on version 1.1. I hope you find that as funny as the rest of us do. But it is. This auto-scroller is 12 seconds faster on version 1.1. So just kill all these things, you know what I mean? Don't get hit. Because if you lose, you'll lose. You have to start it over. It takes like 4 minutes. I timed it. You could speedrun Pokemon Red any percent during this auto-scroller. Here we go.
That's what I was looking for.
Alright, next segment. Also not that bad, really.
It's up to you guys now.
There's a little bit of a hard part, but it's not crazy. Go ahead and equip your Ice Blast. Run down here. Skip this guy. You have to kill these two down here. You don't have to kill the first one. Just this guy. And this guy. Now run this way. Pull up your menu, because you're going to want Tricky to stay on this pad as soon as you can. Grab this yellow gem. Tricky will start moving the Barrel Mover 9000. Equip your Fire Blaster, and get ready, because you have to... you should know what you have to do here if you played the game. You have to, hit these Fire Blaster switches to get the barrel through without, it exploding. So you have to destroy them in order, or turn them off in order, I mean. You can shoot the first one. I like to do it, like, right about when the Barrel Mover starts moving back up. And then I do the others right about as it passes the previous one. Now, the last thing to note here is you don't want to run too far ahead when you're done, or else Tricky will get off of the pad. And if he gets off of the pad before the Barrel Mover actually drops the barrel, you'll have to get Tricky to go back to the pad to turn it back on so that it drops the barrel. So don't run too far ahead until the Barrel Mover has dropped the barrel on where you need it to. The furthest I go is right about right here, right before this ledge, or I don't know what to call it, corner. Right before this corner, right about here is where I stop to wait for the Barrel Movers drop it, and then once it drops it, you can run forward. Just once you see it leave the Barrel Mover, you're good. Now come up here. You probably remember this part as well. You have to get the barrel through these wind tunnels with the flames in them. The barrels are on a timer, or the flame jets are on a timer, and you have to throw the barrel at the right time. The first two are not that hard. If you have the barrel in your hands and you see the flame jet go off, you have enough time to throw it for the first two. I'm only talking about the first two. So, like, got the barrel. We've got enough time. We're good. Throw it. Now the second one just went off. Watch. Still good. Plenty of time. Right? So keep that in mind. I saw it go off as I was picking up the barrel. That's how I knew it had enough time, because I saw it, Alright, now the last one, there's sort of a trick to getting it through this very difficult part a little bit quicker and easier. We all hate this part. Everybody knows this part. This is the really tricky flame puzzle. So when you get down, I'll take my time with it to show. We're done with all the cycle stuff, really. Come and grab the barrel and come and stand on this corner of the on the metal plating that you're standing on. Like, you see how the two parts kind of come to a corner. Stand on the corner. Then zoom, and using your zoom goggles, you can help to adjust the camera the way you want it. You want to aim right about here, so that your left, right about here, so that your left, two green corners, the, like, camera reticle in the center of your zoom goggles, you want that so that it's aligned with the black line that they're over. Do you see it? The black line in the background behind the fire. Whoops. I'm moving it too much. Right about there, yeah. So yeah, right about there is where you want it. The zoom goggles make it pretty easy to do this. So now, exit your zoom, and all you have to do now is wait for the top one to go off, okay? And then run forward. So watch, I'm going to let them both come out, and you'll see exactly how this works. When the top one goes off, run forward, and it'll be safe. It'll make it. Boom. Did you see that? Even though the bottom flame was going, it was able to glide past it. That's what standing on that corner and lining yourself up in that way and just run straight forward ensures that every time the barrel will move in that direction. Now, the top flame will destroy the barrel, but basically this trick allows you to only have to wait and watch the cycle for one of the flame jets. You don't have to do it for both of them. So make it over, grab your barrel, blow this up. Okay, now come down here to start the freeing the Cloud Runner part. I would say that this is, I think, the last actual tricky manipulation that you have to do in the entire run. So I'll just explain this part slowly. First off, run down and turn it on. You want to turn it off right as it's passing right about... no, see, I was a little early. We'll start it again and go from the same direction. He starts on the far right of his path. So he starts right about there. I'm going to turn it back on, and then you want to turn it off kind of right as he's approaching the black hole where the flame will come out of, but not right as he's passing it, because it takes a second for it to turn off. I kind of go a little bit to the right of the metal tube that the black hole is connected to in the very center of the screen right now. The big metal pipe, you know, in the middle. I go a little bit to the right of that when it's passing, when I watch the string of the Cloud Runner's cage, and when it's about right there, like a little to the right of that is usually when I press A. So let's try again. Honestly, I don't think that that'll work. I usually try to make sure that it's at least aligned with the yellow ring. You can do it both ways. I'm just letting it reset its position each time for the sake of demonstration, as though I was getting it in one try. Right about here? I'm still not confident in that one. Some of these actually might be okay, but I'm just not like supremely confident in that it'll work, so I'm just gonna try it a couple more times. This part is a little tricky and takes some practice, I will admit. That'll be fine. See, it's inside of the yellow ring outside of the black hole now, so you just want to make sure it's like, it doesn't have to be dead center, but I just try to make sure it's right about there. Honestly, the one before this that I stopped at was probably fine. Like it's not a super tight window, but you know. Okay, so here, as we were approaching this, we should have equipped the heal command and highlighted the flame command. As we were approaching that's what we should have done. So once you're done, jump up here and heal Tricky twice, and then use the flame command and turn around, and Tricky will come running quicker to open the Cloud Runner cage.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Thanks for helping me out. Hey, aren't you a friend of Crystal?
How do you know Chris?
You can spam A to get on the Cloud Runner after this cutscene if you hold forward as well. So hold forward and spam A out of this cutscene to start the Cloud Runner segment.
Why don't you climb aboard? I need to stretch my wings. The spellstone you seek is hidden below the Great Tower. To get inside, you will have
Now,
to destroy
this part, there's really only one thing to say. There's a kind of a quick kill, so to speak, for this part. Okay, so the Cloud Runner makes a circle around Dragon Rock, and he'll keep going until you've destroyed all 4 of the targets on all 4 of the spires. Which you're probably aware of, like, you're probably familiar with this part. Now, you can attack the 4th spire, which will be directly to our left. The 4th spire is actually the one we pass right as the Cloud Runner is coming out of this gate. So kind of hold, like, hard down left to aim a hard up, so that you're aiming a hard up left, you know, because of the inverted controls. And get ready to spam A to shoot the target as hard as you can, you know, as many times as you can right as you're coming out of the gate. So watch what I do and you'll see. This one. Shoot it as many times as you can, okay? Now, there's nothing more to do about that one for the moment. So we're gonna continue on. Don't try not to let the Cloud Runner get hurt at all for the first two, because if you want to do the quick kill, you'll have to take a little bit of damage. But also try to make sure you get some good shots in on the target so that you don't miss it. Like I nearly just did. So the first one there, the second one here. There, that was the second one, didn't take any damage. Okay, now on the way to the third one is where you can do the quick kill on the fourth one. The Cloud Runner is going to kind of zigzag, and if you look to the hard right, after he passes the big central spire where Dracor lives, if you look hard right as he's passing that, you'll like be zigzagging towards it, and your shots will actually reach the target if you aim and fire well enough. So it's really hard. We call it God Spires because it cuts out a part of the Cloud Runner cycle, basically. It'll basically end this segment when you destroy the third spire because you destroyed the fourth spire early. That's the benefit of shooting it out of the gate and shooting it here during the trip to the third spire. So for the first part, see, we haven't passed the big spire yet. Just defend the Cloud Runner and try and get some shots off on this target, the third one. But now, as he's coming back this way, we didn't get it, but that's okay. You can shoot it right there, like where I stopped to aim at it. We missed the third spire. You can shoot it where I stopped to aim at it, so we're going to have to go all the way back around to destroy the third one. But hopefully you could destroy the fourth one a little bit earlier, well, much earlier than that. You get the idea. Don't miss the third one like I did. But if you can get the fourth one early, then you can end the whole thing early, which is pretty fun. It had like 2 hits left, of course. Okay, and then the very last thing that this part of the tutorial will talk about is the boss Dracor fight. Now, truthfully, there's only like tips that I can give of this because the best thing for you to do is to practice it. Dracor's tough, and he's got a very like particular hitbox. His hitboxes are his chest, if I recall correctly, and his arm cannon, his big claw, you know? That's actually like the best hitbox to aim for. You want to aim for his claw. I hold sort of like a down left out of this cutscene to try and get as many shots off on him as I can in the very beginning. And just spam A as fast as you can to deal as much damage to him as you can. It's really best to just practice it. This big room here is the first room, we call it, because it's the first room where you could possibly kill Dracor in. However, it's very unlikely that you kill him this room. During these little hallways that he's going into now, he's actually invincible. So once he turns around like that, you can just stop shooting. You won't damage him. Let's see. So yeah, we did a lot of damage to him there. That was like 3/4, 2/3 of his health or something like that. We should be able to kill him in the second room. But I think I'm actually going to prolong the fight a little bit on purpose to show you some things. So this room was the first room. He's invincible here. This room is the second room. This is where you really want to kill Dracor if you're able to. I damaged him pretty good there. Just for the sake of demonstration. I'm going to let the... So, like, as you can see, I had plenty of time and did enough damage to him. I could have killed him in this room. He's going to leave the second room here. And he's going to fly down this hallway. Now, there's sort of a unique thing about this hallway, though. There's a corner at the end of it where he'll stop and turn, and he's actually vulnerable during that corner as well. We call that like a 2.5 room, 2.5 room Dracor. Whichever room you killed him in, we call it, you know, the like, oh, I got a second room Dracor. That's good. I got a third room Dracor. That's okay. I got a 2.5 room Dracor. That's a little better. You know what I mean? So right at the end of this hallway where he's shooting right here, he's actually vulnerable right here. It's only a brief window that he's vulnerable, but if you just barely miss a second room Dracor, you could definitely kill him right here. Like, especially if you just kind of fire straight on and he has very low health. You could easily kill him in this room. And then he's invincible again when he passes this entrance, this opening here to this hallway. Now, honestly, you really don't want to make it go farther than this room. Like, if you're going for a good time, you really should be trying for a minimum of a second room Dracor. But if it goes beyond this, I would say you're in the serious time loss range. You know, third room Dracor is pretty good. It's like, or you know what I mean, it's okay. But for a sub 505 glitchless, it's going to make it harder. So you really should try for better than this room. This is, I would say, the last room where you really want to be able to get him in, you know. And he makes it pretty easy. Like, he's pretty vulnerable here. I could be tearing him up right here. You know what I mean? Like, I've got a great aim on him. Invulnerable when he starts this way. You can turn these off if you want. You have plenty of health, though. He's invincible during this whole part. This is one of the reasons that getting him in the third room is important. That hallway is kind of long, and any room you miss him in is another hallway that you have to follow him through, you know? So it takes time to it takes more than just like, oh, I missed him to make up for not killing him fast enough, you know? It's actually quite damaging. Dracor's a pretty important part of the run, actually, I would say. You know, this is a part that's very much worth practicing. This is the fourth room. This is like, if you go beyond this, like, yeah, it's really, really bad, you know? This is like not even very good. He's actually kind of hard to kill in this room, too. But anyway, we'll end it there. The third room, he's actually pretty easy to finish off, in my opinion. First, you wanna practice damaging him as much as you can when the fight actually starts. You know, like the moment it starts, just ripping him to shreds. So that makes it a lot easier to get him in the second room. All right. Well, I know that part was a little shorter. The next part will be equally short, if not even shorter, because we're about done with the game now. There's really not a whole lot else to do at this point in a glitchless run. Just finishing up the game. There's a couple more important things to talk about, namely Walled City 2. That's a big one. And it's really like Ocean 2, Walled City 2, and then some like quick notes about the final segment. That's about it, though, you know? We're pretty much here now. So, I hope that you found this part of the tutorial useful and interesting and helpful. I will be back hopefully very soon for the final part of this glitchless tutorial. And, yeah, we're almost done. So thanks, everybody. See you next time for that.